Can I ask why I always have to turn on the TV to some bullshit on ESPN? These networks have absolutely no idea how to talk about the things that actually matter and that fans actually care about. I turn my TV on to a conversation about who in the league would you take over Sam Darnold to win a Super Bowl? Who can you place on the Seattle Seahawks that would also win a Super Bowl? And boy, are they missing the plot. 15 minutes after the Super Bowl ends, the last thing fans want to hear is you tearing down the Super Bowl winning quarterback who, no, didn't necessarily play the best game, but played absolutely out of his mind in the NFC Championship game. And I also hear zero conversation about how Drake Maye just isn't very special. The folks who are defending him are saying things like, well, he was hurt. And of course, that's always a valid reason. But in this case, we have not really seen Drake Maye play out of his mind. He basically was in the MVP conversation because he essentially didn't turn the ball over and they had a good record. They surprised a lot of folks, but we all know yesterday that that team didn't deserve to be there. And all season long, although I haven't been on here saying it, there's just not a lot of juice in his game. He's not a prolific runner. He's a great decision maker. It's like watching Brock Purdy, right? Nothing's gonna jump off the screen to you, but he's likable. He plays within the system of the offense. He's not gonna play you into trouble. He's not gonna make a lot of risky throws. And that's the result of what you saw yesterday. This is not a guy who's going to put the ball in harm's way. When he wasn't on his back, which of course is not his fault, he was not willing to take the risk that you needed to win that game. And you have to question if they will be back anytime relatively soon. Now back to the conversation about Sam Darnold. Can we give the man his flowers? Jesus, what more does he have to do to not be named, according to the guys on ESPN, the 15th ranked quarterback in the NFC? I'm hearing they'll take guys who have never even sniffed this game, and now they're going to talk about how anybody could have won with Seattle. That is not true. I have seen Jordan Love, I have seen Josh Allen make decisions with the football that you would be ill-advised in middle school JV football. You cannot just sit back and take everything away from a dude who has come through the absolute mud to get to this point. And I'm not even a Sam Darnold fan, but I want to hear about the game. Talk to me about the intricacies of the game. Talk to me about the intricacies of the matchups and the gap pressures and the scheme. Talk to me about those things. Don't talk to me about a guy, oh, well, I think Joe Schmo on the side of the road could have also done this. No, they couldn't have. Because what happened to the Minnesota Vikings when Sam Darnold walked out that door? I never thought I'd be on this platform defending him, because I didn't think that we had to be in a position of defending a man who just won the Super Bowl. There's about one motherfucker in the world who thought that Sam Darnold would be the one having the last lap, hoisting the trophy, and that is probably just Sam Darnold and maybe his mom. Then there are folks who want to get on him because he didn't win the MVP. Well, who's to say that they had an idea of who the right MVP is in the first place? Kenneth Walker had a hell of a game, but what about Witherspoon? This guy was single-handedly taking control of the game. He's one of the best blitzing corners that we've seen in a long time, and this is the conversation. I just had to come out here and air this grievance because it is so unenjoyable to have somebody be unjustifiably torn down, all for some views, all for some hype. It's just not the type of product that fans want. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Statistically, Sam Darnold's playoffs with a 61.5% completion percentage, 5 TDs, 0 interceptions, almost 700 yards. It is reminiscent statistically of Bart Starr, Joe Flacco, and Tom Brady in 2018. Limited mistakes, let the defense dominate. Is it his fault that their roster is significantly better? I never thought I'd have to come online and be a Sam Darnold truther, but some of the conversation that we're having right now is totally ridiculous. You can sit here and say all you want. We want quarterbacks to be superheroes. We want them to be the Super Bowl MVP like it's some kind of movie. Well, I'm here to tell you this isn't Hollywood, and it doesn't always have to look the way that you think it has to look, right? It is not nothing that he is the first one in his draft class to win a Super Bowl. We consider guys of that draft class to be some of the top in the entire league. What is Lamar Jackson's excuse for not having been deep into the playoffs and making it to a championship game when he's had one of the most prolific and juggernaut style teams on both offense and defense? What is his excuse? Josh Allen? We've shown that these guys can't handle the pressure in these big games, and I'm supposed to sit here and discard Sam Darnold like he's trash? I just don't see it for myself. There's something to be said about a guy who can be the one to not mess all of this up and to have absolute ice that goes through his veins, which he has shown throughout this entire playoff run. The guy is unrattled. If you don't remember, he was once the backup quarterback for the Carolina Panthers before the Bryce Young situation. For the life of me, I can't figure out why some people are acting like this was an absolute given for Darnold to be here. Why doesn't he deserve credit? Because he doesn't put on the cape like Lamar Jackson, or he doesn't put on the cape with teams that are significantly and have been significantly better than Seattle? What is Josh Allen's excuse when he has had an incredible running game for the last 2 seasons and Lamar's had a great running game his entire career? If it was so easy and just pick and drop quarterbacks wherever we want them, then why haven't teams with better defenses done that? Why have these quarterbacks not been able to deliver in the same way that Sam has? You can never take that Super Bowl from him, and it is not nothing that he is the first in his draft class to win. If it was so easy, Minnesota would have never let him walk out that door, and people want to blame him because Minnesota let him walk. Well, who's laughing now? It's absolutely egregious what the media is doing to this kid, and I just had to come on here. I didn't think I'd ever have to get on this platform and defend Sam Darnold, but holy shit, are people doing him a major disservice by deciding not even 24 hours after the game that we're going to sit here and we're going to try to pick and prod him when his game was more reminiscent of Tom Brady, Bart Starr, and Joe Flacco's playoff runs than anything else. I can tell you right now, all of the guys who have crowned Drake Maye as the next coming to the NFL, how did he look last night in comparison to Sam? That's what I want to ask you, because there's one that has a trophy, there's one that threw 0 picks, there's one who has absolute ice in his veins at every step of the way. Kid is unrattled. We're talking about a kid who was the backup quarterback, those Carolina Panthers, before they got Bryce Young. Do you remember how bad that team was? Do you remember how badly he was written off? And what did he do? He just stayed the course. He stayed calm. Hit the subscribe, drop a comment, tell me if I'm totally off the mark. I look forward to hearing from you. I will see you next time.